Hello everyone, this is now my third year of reaction and commentary to Sunbelt football games. You may notice a completely different format this year. And that's because I decided to change things up for this year. Let me know if you like it, or if there's anything that needs to be changed. And now, onto the video. Ouch, that is a rough way to start the season. In a different timeline, I would probably rip apart something to try and feel somewhat satisfied. But now all I feel is bitter acceptance. This is a new Trojans team, and we're gonna have to get used to them, and this game showed it. I'm going to keep supporting the Trojans throughout the season, and hope that something good can come out of this team and future teams. That being said, I do have a few constructive criticisms for the coaching. Number one, establish a running game. I realized the offense was passing too much in the early game, and the only touchdowns were scored from rushing touchdowns early on. I would also like our team to be more consistent on knowing when to go for it and when not to go for it. You go for it on a 4th and 2 from the opponent's 28, but not on a 4th and goal from the 1-yard line? Where's the logic? And finally, the defense has to do better next game. I know that's pretty hard since the defense was extremely gutted from last year, but I noticed we were leaving huge swaths of the field open, and that's not going to be ideal come conference play time. How Gerard Parker will respond from this loss will really show how good of a coach he can be for this team. When your quarterback's real name is General Booty, you know you've got low expectations as a program. At least his tenure starts off nice as he collects a win and also throws a touchdown. Take the win and run is what I say. This could have been a lot worse from my pick to win the Sunbelt West. You'll be back though. Just get some kinks worked out in your system and you're good to go. Arkansas State ended up struggling with in-state opponent Central Arkansas, having to score a touchdown in the final seconds to avoid an FCS upset. While the finish is controversial and all, I must ask Arkansas State to please stop scheduling Central Arkansas, because they always seem to bring out their best effort against you. There isn't that much to review this game. The Golden Eagles did not score a single point, the Wildcats just ran all over them in a game they were expected to win, and there was lightning strikes in the distance, so they ended up calling it after only 2.5 quarters. Next. Well, at least they lost, so they can't gloat about us losing to Nevada. It could be a long season for them if they don't get their defense together. If the Sun Belt champion was decided by the first week, Louisiana would completely steamroll the Sun Belt West. I was expecting Louisiana to win, not by 30. Play like that the rest of the season, and you might have a winning formula. In the battle of two types of chickens, the Gamecocks just had no answer for Coastal Carolina's offense. I guess it really was that bad of a day for non-Power 4 teams in the state of Alabama. In the Battle of Atlanta, which is somehow happening for the first time, Georgia Tech completely walloped Georgia State. I mean, hey, props for trying, but you were never going to beat a team that just beat Florida State. If there's one team that loves to give Power 4 teams a scare, it's Old Dominion. They did it to Wake Forest last year, and now they did it to South Carolina. I mean, hey, you kept it close, but how many times are you going to get moral victories and not just actual real-life victories? After a bunch of stadium arguing on social media, the James Madison Dukes completely destroyed Charlotte. You may never convince each other your stadium is better, but at least the Dukes can hover this over Charlotte throughout the week. Now here's a matchup that might have happened a lot in the FCS days. Did it? I don't know. That's not my job. But anyway, App State completely beat the brakes off the Buccaneers. And start my pick for the Sunbelt East Champions season on a good note. Handled their business. This wasn't like last year where they struggled against Albany. Instead, against another FCS school in New York, they completely whooped them. Not much else to say about this performance. On to the next. Someone called the police on this game because I think it was on drugs. 28-9 Boise State got turned into 37-36 Georgia Southern before Boise State scored 20 unanswered to put it away for good. If Georgia Southern had some defense, they would be completely fine, but I think the Sunbelt Committee should go out and agree to just never play Boise State again. Because trust me, we know what they're like. Well, that'll do it for this video. I know it was a different style of video this time around, so let me know if you have any complaints or issues with the video, and I'll make sure to change it by next week's show when I recap Memphis. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like this type of content, and do not forget about John 3:16, and I'll see you next time. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 12. For the word of God is alive and powerful. It is sharper than the sharpest two-edged sword, cutting between soul and spirit, between joint and marrow. It exposes their innermost thoughts and desires.